I'm going to show you that it is possible to open the awareness by using the senses. And this is the first step, is beginning to use the senses to open the focus of awareness. So how we do it? We just give attention to all the surrounding sounds that are coming from all directions. So just give attention to all the sounds, noises around us, and you will notice that awareness is like a flower, it can open up. Let's try it. Note, don't listen to the sounds one by one. Listen to all of them at once. So the instructions are simply listen to all the sounds and noises around from all directions. And take a moment to notice what is the response of the body when you do this. Does the body feel content, relaxed, tense? Gently notice also what is the effect on the mind. Does the mind get quiet, or on the contrary it becomes more restless? What is the situation with the mind when awareness expands? And now take a moment to see what happens to your feelings. Do you become somewhat blissful, or on the contrary? What is the impact on feelings? Now I would like to have feedback in regard to these questions. Whatever you experienced is fine. I just would like to know, what are your experiences when awareness opens up?
Awareness flower opened up, all the petals fell off. I totally forgot about my body. until you mentioned the body. What is your body feeling? And that brought my awareness back to the body. And I was just awareness.
How was your body feeling?
My body was feeling peaceful.
Peaceful. Okay. And then what happened to the mind?
The mind was silent.
Did you notice any feeling of peace or bliss or
Like a joy, like a little, like bubbles of joy.
bubbles of joy? Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Right. Anyone else? Right.
I felt relaxed and clear
Yes.
and silent.
And silent. Relaxed, clear, and silent. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Occasionally thoughts would come up and I would just bring my attention back to the sounds and they would just go away.
Okay.
There's no effort involved. Just return to this open
To open
awareness.
awareness. Good. So occasionally you had thoughts, but it was easy to go back to open awareness and they would just fade out. Good.
The
Thank
body's
you.
relaxed, but not like limp. It's an alert relaxedness.
It was relaxed but alert.
There's like a hum,
Yeah.
like a humming sound.
A humming sound.
Yeah, like a hum. That's the only way I
Yes, yes, yes. I get it. Yeah, it has been called the sound of Om in the Indian scriptures, right? That humming, yes.
Okay.
As you see, the experiences are relatively similar, right? It's not rocket science. This is a very easy way to meditate. It's as simple as this. You open the awareness, and then, in a way, we enter meditation in a very natural way, right? Ideally, if we sustain the open awareness enough, we begin to feel other things. But before going into that, I want to make sure that you get the following, and is you don't need to feel anything else. Open awareness by itself, if you sustain it throughout the day, it calibrates 710. So according to kinesiology. So what happens is that in that state, you begin to your day transpires in a state of inner quietness. The mind is quiet, somewhat bliss out, and at the same time alert, and at the same time spontaneous. So all kind of beautiful things happen. You don't need to go farther. If it's not happening going farther, don't try to go farther, because the minute you try to go farther, then you're spoiling the practicing of open awareness, because now you are concerned about going farther, right? And it's greediness, because actually in open awareness we could, in theory, experience the whole day in open awareness, and that would be in the map of consciousness 710 in a planet that calibrates 210. So it's greediness to try to get more and more and more. Now, will you get more and more and more? Yes, it's likely the case. And I'm going to go into that in a moment. But keep in mind that the practice of open awareness is just this, is keeping the awareness open when it's not necessary or absolutely necessary to narrow it down. What that means is that there are, yes, some activities that will require from you to narrow focus. When you are writing a letter in the computer, or when you are in a situation that requires full focus attention. The rest of the day, actually, in many activities that we normally do in narrow focus, you can do them in open focus. There are a lot of activities that can be done in open awareness that we narrow focus unnecessarily. So what is the problem of narrow focusing unnecessarily? Well, narrow focus awareness has been linked in general with greater tension in the body, less relaxation, is more like a state of emergency. And then the body learns to be tense, the mind learns to be activated because awareness is narrow focusing and the most of the conditions of the day that don't require that. Another way to explain this is that we want to have flexible focus. We want to have open awareness when we can. If we cannot, then we go into narrow awareness. But in our civilization, actually, we are obsessing with narrow focus awareness. And that's the problem. And that is creating a mountain of tension that is unnecessary. So what people do, because eventually you need to have the experience of open awareness one way or another. So people go home after a day drinking coffee, which narrow focuses you, and then they go home and they have been all day long in narrow focus, and then they get a drink. And alcohol, for many people at least, opens up the focus. And finally you get a break. Your body gets a break, your mind gets a break, and the mind quiets down somewhat. And then you need another drink. So the solution obviously is not alcohol. The solution is to learn to consciously open the awareness and to spend time during the day in open awareness. Now, the question that comes later is, what is this awareness? What is this awareness about? Well, that would be a very long subject to explain here, but just let me say that awakening is the realization that you are this awareness. You are this awareness that is opening up and is narrowed down. You as awareness, you have this capacity. But this, how you use yourself as awareness, has an impact on the body and an impact on the mind. The mind quiets down, the body relaxes, and also from a spiritual perspective, we could say that gradually bliss tends to come. So you tend to smile, right? And that smile is because there is bliss coming in. That bliss is an aspect of the divine. Awareness is the divine. Bliss is an aspect of awareness. So when you are resting as open awareness, you are inviting another aspect of your own self, with capital S, to come to you, and it's bliss, right? You don't need to chase bliss. It's a bad idea to chase bliss, but you can just open yourself as awareness and wait for bliss will come naturally.